What is up, everybody? Bootman here, and we're back with another Marvel Snap video. And in this video, I wanted to go over 12, that's right, 12 decks that might be able to help you finish this season by hitting infinite. We got a few days left, so I want to run through these. All these were found on Twitter, which is a great place to find awesome decks. So anyways, before we get started, if you're new here, hi, my name is Chris. I also go by Bootman. If you love Marvel Snap, especially ranking up the competitive aspect of it, make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell. We're trying to hit 8,000 subscribers by the end of March. Only need a few hundred more. And if you subscribe, you'll be part of a lot of cool stuff. We got an amazing Discord server down in the description below. But I also do giveaways every single month. I give away three season passes every single month, all right? But you gotta be subscribed and you gotta follow me on Twitter, boom, right here at BootmanMSTZ. It's also linked down in the description below, all right? So make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow. But anyways, let's jump into this. So I say it all the time. I say it over and over and over again. If you're not on Twitter, you should be. The Marvel Snap community is amazing. This is actually where I get most of my ideas for decks to help me reach infinite, see what the conversations are, see the tweaks and updates people are making to different decks. I've been keeping track of this all season long, so we got 12 and this is nowhere near all of them. So I want to go through, it's gonna start in chronological order. So you're gonna kind of see how the season progressed as well. So I'm gonna go over the decks. I'm gonna kind of give my opinions on them, like are they still viable and things like that, because the meta has changed a little bit, you know what I mean? But yeah, make sure you're on Twitter, be part of the Marvel Snap community. You're gonna get a lot of great recommendations, but there's also a lot of very cool, interesting conversations going on about the game and different decks and all that kind of stuff. All right, so let's get started. So the first one comes from Kraken Null, super cool dude, all right? So I don't remember when the Surfer nerf happened exactly, but he listed 2 decks. Here's one of the ones that he used, which was a Surfer move deck, but he also used a Dazzler Thanos deck. So as somebody who played a lot of Thanos towards the end of the season, helped me get infinite, I'm still curious whether or not this is the best version. Dazzler, it seems like Dazzler only fits in a Thanos deck. It might do well with like Ultron or something like that, but I know people, when they have Dazzler, they're tossing her into a Thanos deck. So this is like an ongoing version, and I've had a lot of people ask me, like, what if you don't have Dazzler? Because I've discussed similar decks before. I ran a deck similar to this, and what I was using was Captain America in Dazzler's spot. So if you're interested in this ongoing style of deck, all right? But also, it's got Super Scroll in here. Super Scroll's dope. All right, next deck. Okay, so this person here, they used Sera, and then they also used, what kind of deck is this? This was just, so this was just kind of like a typical kind of Dracula deck, right? And it had Leech in it and Hobgoblin. So something I've been asking a lot of lately, and I was just talking about this on Twitter, and I'm thinking about doing some more research. What is it that makes a Thanos deck strong? People are saying it's one of the strongest decks, if not the strongest deck. Is it Lockjaw? Is it Leech? What is it, right? So take that into consideration while looking at this and this deck that helped him get to infinite, okay? Then Sera has been huge throughout. This is, you know, I think the original Magantress. People use Sera instead. It's still pretty strong, but I don't know if it's strong enough to keep up with like Shuri and Thanos. So the next person, this was way earlier in the month too, they started using Thanos as well. So this is a little bit different. This is kind of like a mix between the ongoing version that we're talking about, like with Khazar, the little zoo version, and it also has Lockjaw, but I think this is pretty interesting too. It has Captain Marvel in there, and a lot of the Thanos decks that I've been running like have not been using America Chavez, but I know some people are leaning towards a version like this, but I do really enjoy Captain Marvel. I just don't know if you need Captain Marvel, because when you're running a Thanos deck, one of the benefits is the Space Stone, which lets you move and get into locked locations. You know what I mean? Let me shrink this a little bit for all you beautiful people. All right, cool. The other deck they were using was Galactus. So I'll be honest, I think we're gonna come across a few Galactus decks. I don't know how people are doing it. If you saw my last video, I talked about matchmaking and everything. Like Galactus, like last season, I could use it consistently, like climb up a bit. I was able to use it a little bit this season too, and this one was earlier in the season. But like Galactus, everybody expects it now. I can't rank up. I can't get any cubes. So like, I don't know, but I saw plenty of people towards the end of the season still ranking up with Galactus. This is an interesting one. I like Galactus decks that have a backup plan because when you don't pull out Galactus or for some crazy reason, you don't get the ramp cards you need to Galactus, it's good to have a different plan. I like how this has like Professor X as a backup. It's using Leech, so interesting. All right, let's see what else we got here. All right, that was me. That's not one of these. Okay, cool. So inevitable. So we're starting to see Galactus rise. So when was this? This was February 11th too. Huh. All right, so this is kind of what we've been seeing. This has Devil Dino in it. This is more of the standard one that we've been seeing. But again, America Chavez isn't always being used in this. So let me know down in the comments below. Do you have Galactus, or are you saving, not Galactus, but Thanos, or are you saving for Thanos? Because I really want to do some experiments, because I think we're going to see a bunch of Thanos decks, but I really want to kind of see how strong he is and what is the exact component. Is it Leech? Is it Lockjaw? Is it the stones with Quinjet? What is it? Because if we could pin that down, then maybe you don't need Thanos to run some of these decks. Then we might be able to see a little bit more of a variety too, you know what I mean? Next up, we got Mogwai, the man. So Mogwai, see, this one's hard too, because he's used a ton of different decks. I dig this though. So this is kind of like a little bit of move, but he was also like, this is just an interesting deck. He's got Elektra. Elektra can take out some stones if need be. He's got a little bit of movement, so he can trigger Spider-Man, Green Goblin. I remember when he first hit Infinite and he came out with this deck, I can't remember if I tried it, but this kind of looks similar to Freddie Babe's deck that he made. So yeah, I definitely dig it. And something like this that has so many different things going on that kind of catches the opponent off guard, I really like that. So I wonder if this is still viable. And Mogwai, he actually just hit like rank 150. So he comes up with a lot of cool decks. Again, if you're not subscribed to him or following him on Twitch, go check him out. He's one of my favorite deck creators. So this deck, it's just called Leech. So this is interesting. This is just like a regular deck. There's no Lockjaw, there's no Thanos, and they use this to hit Infinite. Yeah, I'm kind of liking how this deck is. It's pretty much pool 3 only too, so I dig that. So this might be a deck that is still something worthwhile trying out. We have been seeing a lot of Lizard in a lot of decks. You know, it has the Iceman Scorpion combo, which drives everybody nuts. White Queen is always good to get some intel, and you still got Leech. Leech is killing it. So I'm trying to figure out, is Leech the card? Is Leech what it is? And I've really found interesting the conversations happening on Twitter about, what do you do with Leech, right? What should Leech do? Because like Leech is a necessary evil, right? He keeps certain decks in check and things like that, but he shuts down a lot of cards, right? So it's almost like, should he just randomly take the abilities away from like 3 cards or 2 cards or 1 card? Or like, what should Leech do? Because I feel like if we removed Leech from the game, we'd see a problem kind of like when we saw the rise of Deathwave again after Leader got nerfed, you know what I mean? Next up, another Sera Control. So this is one of those typical Sera Control decks. I really like it. Again, there's a lot like Magentris, so I'm obviously a fan. And I like how it does have Zabu in here too, but I don't know if Zabu is justified for just 2 4-cost cards. Like, yeah, you could pull them off at the end, but I don't know. I might swap out that Zabu in this one. All right. Next one up, this comes from Valentine. So Puffy Jacket, boom, there it is, finally. What was the date on this? The 14th. So finally we're seeing a Shuri deck. This is a Shuri Wong deck with Arnim Zola. This is kind of a build before we got like the new standard of Cosmo and armor. So this doesn't really have any protection. Towards the end of the season, I did start messing around with like Arnim Zola in it. Just because you can catch people off guard, it's not being run that much. So this has the Arnim Zola and Black Panther, so it has a few different routes that you can go, but I do not think that this is the strongest version of the Shuri deck. The other one that they were using was a Galactus null deck. And I don't know how people are doing it. I don't know how people are doing it. This just, so whenever I see Galactus, it just goes to show how many different like types of games we're all playing. Like I cannot get more than two cubes with a Galactus deck, let me tell you. So next up, we got Coco. So both these last guys, they were at the Creator Class tournament. So this is another Zabu type Sera deck. A little bit different though. I like this. This is a deck that I would definitely use. So Zabu, much more justified. This is a little bit more like a typical Darkhawk deck that we saw. So look, check it out. It has Darkhawk, Shang-Chi, Enchantress, and Rockslide. So all of these are benefiting from Zabu, which is dope. We got Cosmo in here to protect the Darkhawk. Very cool. Sera coming out at the end. I like it. I like it a lot. I like this deck. Then we got two variations on Thanos. So this is the one that KM Best really likes too. It has Wave in here. I tried the Wave version, but the one I've been using, for those of you who saw, it has Okoye. It also has Sunspot. I don't have Death in here. That's an interesting pick because there's nothing, I don't really know why, but interesting. But KM Best and some others really like having Wave because Wave disrupts the other opponent while also helping you out. So you could pull like a She-Hulk and an Arrow on the last turn, stuff like that. And then the last one that he was using was the Thanos Zoo. This is one that I want to play more of, all right? Whenever I see Valkyrie in here, I'm like, that'd be good. That'd be real good. And a Bass too? Ooh, I don't think I've seen this one. I don't think I've seen it. It's like, but the thing is with Beast, I get worried about having Beast in a Thanos deck. Like if you've played Thanos, your hand gets full. Your hand gets very, very full, but definitely interesting. And it has Bishop. This is interesting. This is interesting. I might test this one out, but to be honest with you, I am so Thanos out. I do not want to play any more Thanos. So now we're at towards later in the season. We have the Sandman Electro. A lot of people are hitting Infinite with this. Once they buffed Sandman, a lot of people are using this. So pretty much you Electro or Wave into Sandman, then you could just start dropping some big one card plays like Dr. Doom into Odin is the big one. So yeah, I do think this is still strong, but from what I've seen, it doesn't really compete too well with like the Shuri and the Thanos decks. Because with Thanos, you have the big cards. Like, yeah, it's cool to drop a bunch of stones and like shove them into Lockjaw, but they aren't 1000% necessary. So the last deck we have here comes from Dexter. So his deck is titled No Shuri, No Problem. So this is all Series 3 cards for those of you who are interested. I think this is why I saved this one. It is a little bit different. It is basically the Shuri deck, but instead of having Shuri, we have Dr. Doom in here. So yeah, interesting. I don't know how well it would do. Like, I don't know. So the thing is, when you have Shuri with Red Skull, like you're beefing up Red Skull. Oh man, this doesn't even have Taskmaster in it. Dexter, what you doing? What you doing, boy? What does he have in here? Oh, he has Iceman in here. Interesting. Yeah. So I don't know. One of the last things I want to talk about. One of the last things I want to talk about with this, and I promised you guys 12, and one of those was not it. So I'll talk while I do this. One of the things that I'm constantly curious about is this. So when somebody hits Infinite, what does that mean, right? When they say, I use this deck to hit Infinite, all right? Because like, if I'm at rank 99, can I really say like, if I just switch to a new deck, can I say this is the deck that I use to hit hit Infinite? You know what I mean? Like how many ranks do you need to get? How many ranks do you need to get with a deck before you could say, this is the deck that I use to hit Infinite? Because what if I was at like 99.9 cubes and I just used the most random garbage deck out of pure chance I gotta win? Could I say that's the deck I use hit the Infinite? I think I've said this a few times, but just think about that a little bit. Think about that just a little bit. So yeah, 12th deck, boom, this is the deck that I used, okay? So this, like I said, some people are swapping out Okoye for Wave. I think this is like the flex card, the card that you could do switch out a little bit. Blue Marvel, I think is great in this deck, and I don't think some of the other decks had Blue Marvel either. Let me see, can I click on the right one? Did I? Nope, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. There's one. Yeah, okay, there's Blue Marvel. Okay, cool. Yeah, Blue Marvel's huge. Blue Marvel's huge, buffs you up. That's kind of why I want to try a Valkyrie deck. But I think this is the deck that a lot of people have been using, and then sometimes people are swapping Okoye with Wave. All right, but anyways, those are 12 decks for you. We got a few days left in the season, so give them a try. Let me know down in the comments, what deck did you use to hit Infinite? Was it something different? I thought I saved the Freddy Babes one on here, but I didn't, so maybe you used that. That one was doing well for a while. I haven't heard anybody talk about it in weeks. You know what I mean? I also made a video on the one that TLSG used to hit Infinite, but I think like one of the reasons I like doing videos on this is there's a wide variety of decks out there. You just gotta find them, you gotta seek them out. So don't let not having certain cards hold you back. One of the beautiful things about this game, what makes it fun, exciting, interesting, is creating new decks. And something I really want to push back against in this upcoming season is like the spotlight effect that we have on these decks. Everybody's talking about, everybody's focusing on these one decks, and we're completely missing all of the other decks that we could be building and just like finding creative ways to use cards. That's why I really want to do a lot of analysis and testing, seeing what the strong components are. Is it Leech? Is it Thanos? Is it Lockjaw? What is it, right? Because then we could take that ingredient, pop it into another deck. You know what I mean? Anyways, that's all I got for this video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Help us hit 8,000 subscribers by the end of the month. And you can join our awesome Discord community. And if you're subscribed and follow me on Twitter, at BootmanMSTZ, link down below, you can be part of our monthly giveaway for the season pass. I give away 3 every single month. Tomorrow, I will announce the season pass giveaway and contest and how you can enter. All right, so make sure you're subscribed, stay tuned. But that's all I got for this video. Have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one.